Okay, so anyways, the mask mandate proposals last night were struck down, all three of them, and there might be a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Let's get into it. All right, YouTube. So anyways, we're going to get to the topic in the title, but first I want to invite you guys to join my channel. Go down and hit the subscribe button down below, and also I would ask you to give me a thumbs up or give me a comment down in the comment section. It helps my channel grow, and also I enjoy your criticism and I enjoy the discussion, so feel free to do so. Let's get into it. Last night, Muskogee City Council meeting, there were three proposals and they were struck down and the meeting got pretty contentious. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about the proposals that were put in place or suggested. There was one by Mayor Coleman where there would be a mask mandate, but that mask mandate wouldn't usher in a fine for small businesses and Muskogee businesses. And then Ivory Van had a proposal with some teeth, his own words, and it was a mask mandate that was pretty much enforced by small businesses, and if those small businesses did not comply, first violation was a $100 fine, and then this escalated into them losing their business license. This was going to be enforced not only by the business owner, it was forcing them to enforce it, but also it was going to be enforced upon the businesses by code enforcement, okay? And that was struck down, and Coleman's was struck down as well. There was also a proposal from the COVID-19 task force here in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and it was kind of like Mayor Coleman's, except it ushered in exemptions for people with sensitivity issues, being that you're autistic or you have some kind of disability and you can't wear a mask. So all three of those were struck down. So there is no mask mandate in Muskogee, Oklahoma, okay? But that isn't what was newsworthy, apparently, in the city council meeting. It was over a fire exchange between Ivory Van and Mayor Coleman. It got a little spicy, and a meme came out of this city council meeting. So, okay, if you woke up this morning and you see all these memes on your Facebook page and you live in Muskogee and you're like, where'd all these memes come from? That's where it came from. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but this is what happened. Ivory Van made it kind of theatrical by ushering in a casket into the city council meeting. I think Mayor Coleman tried to get the casket removed, but it was voted that it should stay. It was theatrical, and I'm sorry to say I don't like stuff like this. The reason being is because I believe the casket was meant to usher in a emotional response from the city council and kind of sway their voting and kind of sway the people that were attending. And I don't like that. I don't like emotion. I don't like people trying to stir up my emotions. The reason being is because the heart is wicked among all things. Who should know it? God has given us a brain to think with. And this right here should always be secondary when it comes to policy and dealing with other people's lives. People should use their brains, not their heart, because the heart sometimes, our emotions sometimes can lead us astray. It's not a good way of doing things, in my opinion. But anyways, Ivory Van then ironically said that Mayor Coleman was being political. And he was complaining about the politics involved in this and suggesting basically that Mayor Coleman was worried about his re-election because this mask mandate isn't very popular, but Ivory was saying that I'm the one who's thinking about people's lives, this, that, and the other. So then Mayor Coleman clapped back and he said, I don't give a hot chocolate about re-election. Okay, not in that. He didn't have that kind of tone, but I like to give him that because it's funny. But anyways, he said that, and he also said that you're bringing in a coffin and then you're telling me that I'm being political. And then Ivory Van apologized, probably because Ivory started thinking about how severe and how important this is and how it affects so many people's lives. There were several business owners there that were complaining they were pretty much making some of the points that I was making yesterday, was that these small businesses already have the burden of dealing with this on their shoulders. They are not making nearly as much money as they were, and they're having a hard time finding staff which is very interesting. I'll talk about that here in a second. But anyways, they're pretty much saying, you expect me, I'm barely making enough money as it is. You expect me to turn away paying customers because they don't have a mask on when I'm suffering already? Now, I understand that people have died from this. There's been 2,800 cases in Muskogee so far, and 28 have passed away. God bless them, and I pray for their families. It's a serious ordeal. We laugh about what Mayor Coleman said, but this is a serious issue, and I believe that's why Ivory apologized, because it is a serious issue. And saying that Mayor Coleman was being political, it would have rubbed me the wrong way too, because it kind of suggests that he doesn't care about people dying. Everybody cares about people dying, but like I said in my last videos, the sacrifice cannot be greater than the reward. All right, 28 people have died. That's 1% of the 2,800 in Muskogee currently. And I'm not trying to downgrade the suffering of everybody, but I mean, that's pretty good in my opinion. Now, what we need to do, also in my opinion, is we need to quit fighting among each other and start pointing the finger at China, because they're the ones that caused this. We are all forgetting that in the United States, what we're doing is we're getting real tribal and fighting back and forth, and we're focusing on masks, we're focusing on all this stuff, but we need to point the finger at China, because China could have stopped this a long time ago. They could have sealed off Wuhan and stopped anybody from leaving their country the minute it happened, but the Chinese Communist Party decided not to do that. In fact, they decided to lie about it, and then they bought out the World Health Organization, and the World Health Organization tried to downplay this as well, and they were working as a proxy for China. All right, this is a big deal. Okay, we need to quit fighting among each other about this. We need to start punishing the people that actually caused this and try to incentivize them to do better, in my opinion. But anyways, a lot of businesses are suffering, okay? And some of the business owners showed up last night and they voiced their concerns about this. They said, basically, how do you expect me to enforce this mandate whenever I'm already begging for customers on the side of the street? You expect me to turn them away if they don't have a mask? And also, the businesses said this. The businesses said that they couldn't find employees as well. And I honestly think it's because of these COVID-19 relief packages. Now, people needed the relief packages, okay? The federal government came in and said, hey, you can't go to work anymore, so we need to cover that. I understand that. But did people really need upwards to $900 a week during this shutdown? I don't think so, because what it did was it incentivized people not to go back to work whenever they opened back up. And so, I mean, and I get it. Do you blame them? If they go back to work, they're going to make less than what they do on unemployment. People on unemployment made more than me while I was working. Does that seem right? I don't think so. And what it's doing is it's blowing up the deficit. A lot of people don't realize this, but they just upped food stamps also because the price of food went up. But let me tell you something. These relief packages are going to blow up the deficit. Whenever the government has a deficit, they don't make enough tax revenue to pay for their yearly expenses. What they do is they print money. And whenever they print money, they send it back out into the economy. Basic economics. More of something, more availability of something brings the value of that thing down. So the more money in circulation, the less valuable your money is going to be. You think prices are going up? No, they're not. What's going on is your money's value is going down. All right? And since Walmart and all these places know that they have guaranteed customers via the food stamp program, what they do is they raise their prices, your value of your money goes down. And then all the people on these social programs, they pretty much weigh the middle class down, because the middle class is having to pay the taxes, they're having to pay for the inflation, the devaluing of the currency, and also the raising of Walmart raising their prices because they know how they have guaranteed customers. If you took those guaranteed customers away from them, they would slash prices in a second. Otherwise, they would go out of business. This is very bad. It's been going on for a long time, and a lot of people are blaming rich people, but the fact of the matter is, it's all these subsidies and entitlement programs. They're killing us. They're killing us. And they are boosting up huge corporations like Walmart, like Target, like these places. These people send lobbyists to buy our politicians for a reason to establish this stuff, but it's killing us. It's killing the American economy. It's a big deal. But anyways, that's anyways, that's enough of that. Let's talk about good things. The good thing is that Pfizer has early data showing that they have a vaccine that is 90% effective. Now, this comes from a German company called biotech. So if you're into the stock market and stuff, you might want to look at Pfizer right now, because it jumped from $36 a share up to $42 a share. Now it pumped and then it dumped. Now it's at, I mean, last time I looked at the ticker, it was about $40 a share. So if you're into the stock market, if you got a Robinhood app or anything, you might want to check that out. But anyways, Pfizer says that they have a new vaccine and that it is 90% effective. This COVID-19, it's killed about more than 1.2 million people worldwide. And the company says analysts found that the vaccine was more than 90% effective. Again, I say that Pfizer plans to ask the Food and Drug Administration for emergency authorization of the 2-dose vaccine later this month, after it has collected the recommended 2 months of safety data. Okay, so they're making sure by the end of the year it will have manufactured enough doses to immunize 15 million to 20 million people, company executives said. Now, one of the questions that comes up for me, where are these 15 to 20 million people going to live? Is this going to come to the United States? So what I question is, did we subsidize the American taxpayer? Did we give Pfizer the money to create this vaccine? If so, I think that 15 to 20 million vaccines should come to the American people. If we fronted the bill, we should be able to have the prize at the end of the day first. I'm not saying that it shouldn't go worldwide, but if we subsidize this, we deserve these vaccines first. And what we should do is we should distribute it old to the young, okay? Because the actual virus, it affects elderly people the most. And so what we should do is we should put them at the front of the line, and then we should work our way down as more vaccines are produced and stuff. All right. Now, another thing we should consider: President Trump said in one of the debates that there might be a vaccine available before the election. Could you imagine who would have won the election if this would have actually happened? I mean, this is just a couple of days after the media has dubbed Biden the president-elect, which he is not yet, because the votes have not been certified. The media is producing this narrative that Biden's the president-elect, but he's not yet. The votes haven't been certified, and it's going to be fought out in court. So we'll see what happens. I think there's a slim chance that Trump pulls it off. I think that Biden's probably more than likely got it in the bag. We'll see what happens. Giuliani says that he's pretty confident with his disputes, especially in Pennsylvania. He says that there might be up towards to 650,000 votes wiped off, and that can give them an avenue to possibly win. But man, can you imagine what would have happened if this news would have came out then? I don't know. You tell me. Like I said, guys, if you like this channel and you like these videos, hit the subscribe button down below. Give me a like. It helps me out. And comment down below, man. Let's talk about it. Oh, also, guys, what I want to do is I want to plug my friend's book. If you want to support a local author, my friend Caleb Fishty has authored a book. He has written a book, and it's going to be a series. He's working on book 2 right now. If you want some reading material, hit him up. I'll put the link in the description down below because I finally got it. And hey, guys, at the end of the day, we're family. We are the United States. We're family, and we should act like it. So love your neighbor, and God bless you. Peace.